Hello guys, I am name Koscyber, and today we are going to start with our cybersecurity basics. And I'm the instructor Koscyber, and I'm into cybersecurity consultancy and web penetration testing as a specialized. So today we are going to start our class as I said before. Let's take a very good look at our table of content of what we are going to learn on this section of cybersecurity basics. These are some of the things that we are going to focus on. Now we are going to look at the main cybersecurity basics, then move to cybersecurity career or career path in cybersecurity. Then third, we move to the dark web and the deep web. We are going to look at the differentiation or the distinguish of what the dark web, the deep web, and the surface web. So we take a very good deep look at it, and also we move to the fourth one, which is what the network security. We are going to learn about network security. Then we move to the endpoint security. We look at endpoint devices or endpoints. We take a very good look at the endpoint devices, how we can protect these endpoint devices, how hackers can get into what endpoint devices. Now then we look at application security. Now take a very good look at application security, we dive deep inside. Then the seventh one, which is the identity and access management, into bracket the IAM, take a very good look at that one too. Now we look at the cloud security, talk about how the cloud security works, how we need to protect our data on the cloud, and what are some of the things that we need to know about cloud security. Now move to the ninth one, which is what incident response and management. Now look at how incidents happen and how we are going to respond to the incidents. Then we manage everything, how to create a report on what incident management. Now the 10th one, which is what ethnical hacking and penetration testing. Now between ethnical hacking and penetration testing, what are some of the things that an ethnical hacker do, or what are some of the things or a penetration tester do, and what are some of the aspects of what penetration testing. We are going to take a very good look at it. Then move to the 11th one, which is cyber threat intelligence. We are going to look at the definition of cyber threat, how it happened, how to protect, how to get into it, or how to become an intelligence of cyber threat. Now we take a very good look at what the last one, which is cybersecurity awareness training. Maybe you are working with an organization. This whereby we are going to talk about how you can protect your organization data, how you can teach your workers on how to safeguard, how to be aware of social engineering attacks such as phishing, smishing, vishing, linters, and all this. Now let's move to the model 1. Now, in our table of content, we take a very good look at the introduction to cybersecurity. Now, when someone talks about cybersecurity, what does that person actually mean? Now, cybersecurity refers to the practice of protecting system, network, and data from digital attacks. Now, these types of attacks typically aim at accessing and changing or destroying sensitive information. Now this sensitive information could be an information of your username, your password, bank details, and so on and so forth. And this information is extorting money from users or interrupting normal business process. Let's take a very good example at how a bank can get hacked, and how this cybersecurity basics. If you have an idea on cybersecurity basics, how you are going to protect a bank or protect the organization. Now consider a bank's online service. Without a strong cybersecurity measures, hackers can potentially access customers' accounts, steal their money, and manipulate financial data. So having an understanding of cybersecurity basics or cybersecurity is help you to know how to move your steps, how to protect your data, and what you need to know about one organization, the important thing to share online, how to safeguard the portals of payment using your idea that you developed from cybersecurity. Now let's move to the second one, which is what? Common cybersecurity threats. There are different types of cybersecurity threats that if we say that we are going to talk about it, there are a whole lot. Now, some common cybersecurity threats include phishing and malware. So if you have the PDF with you, you can see that we have phishing, we have malware, we have ransomware. Let's take it one by one. But first of all, we are going to talk about the phishing, because that is the most target or most techniques that hackers or scammers use to trick people to get their credentials. Now, with phishing attack, it comes in many forms. You have the phishing, smishing, you have the farming method, which falls under a whole lot of skills. Now, let's go straight to the phishing. Phishing is when an attacker sends a fraudulent message designed to trick a person into revealing sensitive information. For instance, you might receive an email that looks like it's from your bank or your business or your organization, your congregation. Yes, your congregation is also part, asking you to verify your account details. If you click on the link and you enter information, the attacker could steal your login credentials. These credentials could be like credentials of what? Your username, your password, maybe some petty details information that you are going to provide it. The hacker or the attacker will be able to see all this information and track you down. That is the basics for cybersecurity that you need to know. And these are some of the common threats for you to get this understanding. If there's something that is bothering your mind at this stage, please you can drop it for us to look at it and see how we are going to solve it. Now, one major thing that every aspect of cybersecurity or anyone who wants to get into cybersecurity, one major aspect that person needs to understand is the CIA threat. Now, let's look at the overview of the CIA threat. Now, the CIA threat is the fundamental concept in cybersecurity. That's why I said that anyone who wants to get into cybersecurity needs to understand the CIA threat. Now, the CIA threat representing the three key principles of information security. Now, you can get an information of a company, organization, or any form, maybe being it an institute, a school, or any form of information that you will lay your hands on. Now let's talk about the confidentiality. Now the main meaning of CIA is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So we are going to take it one after the other and explain it. Like and as I contempt man, like you alert me so that I will drop it. I'll come down slowly in our next video. Now, confidentiality, it means ensuring the information that you lay your hands on or you have is not accessible to unauthorized individual, which means maybe you have a company, you hack into a company hands over their, let's say a bank for example, hand over their bank for you to get into their system, find a weakness in their system. Now you are able to get into their system, you find a weakness. Now the information that you had through your hacking process, you are not supposed to share the information with anyone, but rather keep the information confidential. Give the information to the one that they deserve to have the information, or to have a see of the information that you had. Now, example, encrypting sensitive email ensure that only the intended recipients can read. Maybe you have to put that information or email on your Dropbox or any form of a box that used to what? Save your information. Now, the information must be encrypted, which we'll be talking about encryption in some of the modules that we'll go through. We'll look at the encryption, how to encrypt file, and what the word encryption even means, and some example of what encryption. Now, this is what the confidentiality means. Let's move to the integrity and see how integrity relates with the what confidentiality. Now, integrity means what? Ensuring that the data is what? Accurate. The data is what? Accurate and has not been what? Tempered. Now, which means, let's look at the example. Now, checksums are used to verify that a downloaded file has not been what? Altered. Make sure that the information that you had is what? Accurate. It's fully accurate. And this information is not supposed to share with what? Anyone, as the confidentiality explained. Now let's look at the availability, which falls also under the CIA. As I said before, the CIA simply means what? Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So let's talk about the availability. Now, the availability simply means what? Ensuring that authorized users have access to the information and resources when needed. Now, this is not the time like Yefane said, okay, when I'm here boss, now my mom say, you are doing this work for me, and the time is due for me to have my information. But you decided not to share the information with me. That's what breaches the CIA. But when you made the information available for me to use the information, it means that what? You are following the CIA. Because it is very important as a cybersecurity expert, as a cybersecurity consultant, as a cybersecurity analyst, or cybersecurity, any format of cybersecurity, or any aspect that you fall under cybersecurity, you need to learn the CIA. You need to understand it because it's very important. Now, let's look at some example of what? The availability. Redundant servers are used in what? A network to ensure that if one fails, the service remains available. That's what it simply means. Now, let's look at this. One major thing that we need to know. We are still under the cybersecurity basics. Now, there are some frameworks that it is very important to know. And these frameworks, some help you to get a job easily, especially if you are in the US, Canada, let me say if you are outside this country. Now, one major framework that helps you to get job easily, even if you don't know how to use the command line interface or anything, it will help you to get a job is the what? The NIST framework. Now we have the NIST, we have the iOS/IEC 7001, and the other cybersecurity frameworks and standards provide guidelines and best practice of what? Managing security risks. That's why I said before that what? Having these skills or having a certificate under cybersecurity framework will help you to get job easily outside this country. If you're in this country, I don't have that much idea about that, but I know what I know is that what when you have the NIST certificate and a cybersecurity, you can get job easily, and I'm very sure that the same thing apply to this country too. Now, the NIST simply means what? International Institute of what? Standard and Technology. First, they provide a comprehensive cybersecurity framework used by many organizations to manage and reduce cybersecurity risks. Now, let's look at an example. A company must use the NIST framework to assess current cybersecurity postures and identify areas of what improvement, which is very, very important. Now let's look at the ISO/IEC 27001. What it is an international standard for managing information security. Example, let's look at an example. A multinational corporation might implement the ISO/IEC 27002 to ensure that its security practices are consistent and across office or wherever that office is. This information or the implementation of the policy need to follow. So wherever that you are, you have to follow the standard of the ISO framework, so that the cybersecurity can be comprehend at that place. Implementing of these security policies. Now, security policies are the foundation of an organization's security program. They define the rules and the procedures for all individuals accessing and using an organization's IT asset and resource. Okay, let's look at an example. After that, I will explain it deeper. Now, example. A company might have a security policy that mandates all employees to use two-factor authentication to access the company network, ensuring an extra layer of security. Now, let's say you are working in a company like MTN. Now, you are supposed to enable two-factor authentication in their system before you can use the I am. Before you can have access to whatever that you need to have access to. Now, let's say they have a policy of in every 1 month you need to change your password. Now, they program the system to the extent that in every 1 month you need to change your password. So if you don't follow the policy and the 1 month end, then know that after 1 month you cannot have access to their software or whatever that they are using to do their working stuff or their service. I hope you understand. Please, if something crosses your mind, I'm begging, let me know so that I will address it. Thank you. Now, let's move to the Module 2. We are done with the cybersecurity basics. Sorry, the Module 2, we are going to talk about career path in cybersecurity. There are different paths in cybersecurity, but we have some few or the most major ones that we have to take a very good look at. Now, the first one, which is the Chief Information Security Officer. I call them the boss of all the bosses. Now, the Chief Information Security Officers, or the CISO, is typically a mid-executive level position whose job is to oversee the general operation of a company's or organization's IT security division. So they take a very good step, or they are the boss of all the IT department, whether the network department, the forensic department. They are the boss of everything. Now let's take a look at the second career path under cybersecurity. You are the forensic computer analysis, or the cyber journalists or the cyber investigators. Now, the forensic computer analysis is the detective of the cybersecurity world. The forensic computer analysis review computer-based information for evidence following a security breach or other incident. This is whereby they use some tools like AutoSpy to break into hardware. Even okay, let me make an example or a scenario here. Let's say an incident happened, a shooting incident happened. So they invite the forensics analysis to come to the where the scene has taken place. Now, these people take pictures. They take pictures of the scene. Now they use some tools to pick up maybe some blood fall on the ground. This what they do. Now, that is the work of forensic analysis. And when there is a hardware, a computer or phone, mobile phone, and there is something that is being deleted from their mobile phone, with the help of the forensic analysis, the tools like auto spy. They can use what to retrieve all the data that had been deleted. So forensic analysis is one of the most paying job under cybersecurity. Now let's go to the information security analysis. Now information security analysis, the ISA, is responsible for protecting or protection of an organization, computer system, and network. They plan and execute programs and other measures, including installing and using software for data encryption and firewalls. Where we will be talking about firewalls and encryption, as I said before. So that is the work of what? Information security. So after learning the ways of what? Cybersecurity, then you choose one path, one career path, then you focus on it, you master it then before you move to the another one. Now let's look at the penetration testers or the ethnical hackers. Penetration testing concerns the proactive, authorized employment of testing techniques on IT infrastructure to identify system vulnerabilities. Simply put, penetration testing attempt to, into bracket with an authorization, the word is what? Authorization, hack into computers and network systems to primitively discover operating system vulnerability, service and application problems, improper configuration, and more before outside intruders or the red teamers have the opportunity to cause real damage. Now, with the penetration testing aspect of penetration testing is whereby an organization gives you a permission, authorization to what? Test their system, as I said before in the module 1 of cybersecurity basics. That a company will give you what? An authorization, a permission to hack into their system, find the vulnerabilities, and help them to solve the problem before they encounter any data breach or they encounter any form of what? Cyber attack. So the help of a penetration tester is what? Find vulnerability in systems, whether applications, software, and let their organization or the company know about it, and what? Fix or put a proper configuration to that system so that it will maintain the company security, or it will protect the company from what? Getting hacked. That is the work of a penetration tester. The one major thing is what? The authorization, having an authorization. Now let's look at the security architect. A security architect is responsible for establishing and maintaining network security for his or her organization. A security architect works in all sectors of economy for companies, government agency, and non-profit organization. So if you want to become a security architect, that's the work that you are going to do. Now let's look at the IT security engineer. A security engineer provides a specialized engineering approach to cybersecurity, specifically regarding the design of what? Security system to counter potential catastrophic issues. Now, security engineers are often involved in system maintenance, performing security checks to identify potential vulnerability, as well as keeping logs and developing automation script to track security incidents. That is what they do. That is the work of what? A IT security engineer. Now, let's take a very good look at the module 3. With all this, we'll go deeper in our next slide. So I just want you to understand how all this cybersecurity stuff, how you have been hearing what is cybersecurity. These are some of the things that falls under cybersecurity. And with this, let me say this is what? A surface of what? Cybersecurity that we are talking about, that we are all discussing right now. So I bet you are going to love this class, and you are going to have an amazing technical hacking. And when you start getting to system and you start seeing this and that and that and that and that, you understand how the work of what? a cybersecurity professional, or the love that you have for this work will make it, I don't know, but let's continue. So let's look at the model 3, which is what? Dark web and versus the deep web. Now let me start with a scenario. Now you open your phone, you open your browser, you go to Google, you search for books, you see books, you see that books open. Now where that books appear, the interface, or the interface that you are seeing, that now with the surface web, and after the surface web we come to the what? The dark web. The dark web is termed to refer to a specific, to a collection of websites that exist on an encrypted network and cannot be found by using the traditional search engines or visit by using a traditional browser like Google, DuckDuckGo, like using a traditional browser like DuckDuckGo, Bing, Explorer, Firefox, and the rest. Now, you cannot use that to what? To visit the dark web. But wait, let's look at the deep web. The deep web refers to all the web pages that search engine cannot find. Note, it has been live for nearly 20 years. Let me say nearly 23 years right as now. Nearly 23 years. So there are plenty of pages there. Prerequisite: cover your front camera before you visit the dark web. Now, why do you need to cover your front camera? Whenever you visit the dark web, there's a probability that a hacker, because that place is full of what? Dangerous things. There are some things on the dark web that you feel like, I'm not supposed to see this, because I don't expect this to be on the internet. I don't expect this to be on the deep web. Yes, because it's very important for you to what? Cover your front camera. You can find some solid tape or plaster to cover it. Now, what tools or what software is used to visit the dark web? Now, the only browser that you can use to what? Visit the dark web is what? The Tor browser. And you can download this from what? The torproject.org. You can download the Tor browser from torproject.org. It's very, very easy, it is also free. You are not going to pay anything. Now, visiting the dark web involves a whole lot of things. It involves a whole lot of things, because there are a whole lot of things that goes on a dark web that you might not know. So let's look at people that visit the dark web. Sometimes some may be saying like, oh, the dark web, because the word is what? Dark, or the word is what? Deep. It is only meant for illegal activities. No, there are good people on the dark web that are also working. They have what? Soldiers on the dark web that are finding information or illegal transaction on the dark web. There are journalists that find what? Illegal transaction or illegal news on the dark web, because sometimes there's a news that what will come out on the surface web will firstly appear in the deep web before it will come up. So when you're a journalist, a cybersecurity journalist, then you know how to use the dark web. You get more information on the things that are going on deep on the internet that the normal people cannot see it. So let's continue with the dark web. Now, let's look at the overview of the dark web. Now, as you can see on the screen right now, we have the surface web, or the surface web, as known as the visible web. It is content that can be found using search engines such as Google or Yahoo. It is under constant surveillance by the government. Yes. Now let's go to the deep web. Now, the deep web, also known as the invisible web, it is the content that cannot be indexed by a search engine, and it is hard to keep track of. That is how the deep web is. Now let's go to the the deep web. Let me say the deep web. Now the deep web is for 500 times the size of the estimate to be the surface web. So the deep web is very, very huge. Let me say the surface web will take like 30% of the internet, and the deep web will take like 70% of what? Of the internet. So what we are searching on Google and we are seeing, they are just something small. Maybe we say that, oh, you use Google Docs to get into deeper, to get some credentials, but sometimes visiting a dark web make you see some things like, yeah, I will understand. So let's move forward. Now, let's talk about why the need for deep web and a dark web. Now, there is a wide range of people that benefit from the deep web, as I said before. Capability to allow anonymous use and communication. Listed below are individuals or groups who have benefited from the deep web in the past and who also continue to benefit its existence today. Now, journalists and whistleblowers. Now, who are these journalists? Former military, government, and corporate employees are coming together to encase to report widespread, into bracket, largely unknown corruption within their respective field. So, government, military, and sometimes even normal people working on what? Conjunction with investigative reporters. These individuals can communicate top secret classified information to the media to expose corruption under medicum of protection. You see how it goes. You see how it is. So that is how the dark web and the deep web operate. Now, let's move to the second one, which is what? Political, protested, and anti-censorship advocacy groups. Now, anonymity is of paramount importance for these figures who utilize the dark web as an application to conduct communication measures safely and privacy. Let's say they are these political, protested, and anti-censorship advocate group. They are what? They are chatting or they are discussing about one major important information or one major secret that is going on in the world on the normal social media, on the normal surface web. Now, anyone can intercept it, even the owners of this surface web, the social media owners, the platform owners can intercept this. So it is very important to discuss some things on the dark web. How do you understand? Because these things will be discussed and it will be untraceable, and it make it what? More encrypted than just the normal surface web. Now let's continue. Residents of oppressive political regimes. Now, citizens living in a country ruled by oppressive regimes often do not have ready access to news, information, and critical important data pertaining to the health and sustainability of society as a collective whole. The deep web offers numbers of society living under oppressive political regimes as a relative safe way to garner a crucial information for their own needs, in addition to exporting it out of the country. So that is all you need to know about the deep web and the dark web. Now, if you want to get the tour, now visit this website and use what is my IP, and now you see that your IP address will change from your locality to a different location. Now, this is the first phase of what our studies, and we learn about cybersecurity basics. We learn about the cybersecurity basics. Learn about cybersecurity basic, the career path in cybersecurity, the dark web versus the deep web, and the surface web. Now, this is where we are in our first class. So, as you all know, if anything come in your mind or something close your mind, do well to drop it in the WhatsApp group or in the WhatsApp chat, and we will see to it and we'll solve all the problems that you are facing. And if you don't understand anything, you can let us know. So please take a good care of yourself and stay safe, stay informed. We are Koscyber. We are happy to have you in our class. Stay safe. We love you. Bye.